I know perfectly well, and many here participating in our meeting today know this no less than I do, there is still a shortage of these munitions. There is a shortage. I am aware of the efforts being made by the Ministry of Defense, the Minister, and Industrial Enterprises. There are plans and work is being done daily, in fact. And I am confident that all plans to increase the production of the necessary equipment, in this case these drones, will undoubtedly be fulfilled.
Russia's armed forces still lack certain weapons despite significantly increasing arms production last year, President Vladimir Putin told a meeting of the State Military Industrial Commission. According to Putin, Russian troops have received more than 4,000 armored vehicles, 180 warplanes and helicopters, and over 1.5 million drones of various types. But he said there were gaps in other areas. I know very well, and many here who are participating in our meeting today know it as well as I do, that these weapons are still lacking, Putin said.
Today, we will discuss a range of issues related to the development of the armed forces and the work of the defense industrial complex at the current stage, today, and in the future. We will also analyze how the orders and instructions regarding the supply of the most in-demand models of weapons, equipment, and means of destruction to the troops are being carried out. Moreover, not only to the units participating in the special military operation, which is an absolute priority, but also to the troops in the army and the Navy as a whole. I will immediately note that last year, almost all defense enterprises fulfilled the tasks of the State Defense Order in full, with quality and on time. And for some types of weapons ahead of schedule by more than twice. For example, the production of munitions, communication systems, intelligence and electronic warfare systems has increased. The troops received over 4,000 units of armored weaponry, 180 combat aircraft and helicopters. Additionally delivered more than 1.5 million drones of various types, including about 4,000 drones, were sent daily to the front line, controlled by the so-called FPV system, virtual reality. I know perfectly well, and many here participating in our meeting today know this no less than I do, there is still a shortage of these munitions. There is a shortage. I am aware of the efforts being made by the Ministry of Defense, the Minister, and Industrial Enterprises. There are plans and work is being done daily, in fact. And I am confident that all plans to increase the production of the necessary equipment, in this case these drones, will undoubtedly be fulfilled. They are eagerly awaited on the line of combat contact. This is currently one of the significant factors for combat success. I would especially like to note that the most in-demand models at the front are rapidly being improved, with their tactical and technical characteristics being enhanced, taking into account both the practice of combat use and the development of enemy countermeasures. And their developers, among whom are leading Western arms companies, are also not standing still. We know this. And the guys on the battlefield know it too. The high technological dynamics of our productions have been achieved, including thanks to feedback directly from the front line. Such work has been streamlined by the Ministry of Defense with defense industry enterprises, and it must continue on a permanent basis. I want to say thank you to the teams of defense enterprises, their affiliates, workers of design bureaus, testing centers, and ranges. Your work, high dedication, has allowed the Russian defense industry to successfully cope with the tasks and challenges we have faced. For the current year, they are even more extensive, including the implementation of the program for the expansion and modernization of the defense industry, which involves more than 400 enterprises.
Putin's comments signaled that Russia intends to further ramp up military production in the fourth year of its war in Ukraine, even as it holds talks with the United States on prospects for ending the Ukraine conflict. Russia has shifted defense plants to round-the-clock production since the start of the war. It has also acquired large amounts of military equipment from other countries, including Shahed drones from Iran and artillery, ballistic missiles, and rocket systems from North Korea.
I emphasize today our experience in conducting a special military operation, both in terms of tactics and the technical development of weapons, is being studied without any exaggeration by all the armies of the world, leaders of the global arms industry, high-tech companies. And we need to be one step ahead, as we have managed to do repeatedly in recent times. And I am confident that this is not only for us, but for everyone, and it will continue to succeed in the future. As I have already mentioned, without bureaucratic delays, it is necessary to effectively adapt weapons and equipment to new, rapidly changing forms and methods of warfare. All possibilities. We have them for this. Taking into account combat experience, it is necessary to update training programs in military schools and academies, as well as in junior officer and sergeant schools. At the same time, seriously and thoroughly work through the combat regulations of the ground forces, starting from the squad and company level to corps and combined arms armies. I repeat once more, these processes must proceed simultaneously and in close interconnection with each other. And of course, it is necessary to take into account global trends in the development of military technologies. As much as possible, that is, to predict and understand what potential armed conflicts of the future might be like. And the future is rapidly approaching, and the movement is faster and faster. The pace of these changes is accelerating. It is also important to accelerate the production of robotic systems for various purposes and different bases. Particular attention should be paid to unmanned boats and other maritime systems. The current task is the development of laser systems capable of striking various targets, in particular drones, and in the future, other military equipment, aircraft, missiles, and so on. In this area, we have certain practical developments and complexes have already been manufactured, but we need to move faster in these directions, in these very modern, cutting-edge, promising directions. Also, I would like to say that we must definitely develop everything that is promising and even what is not being discussed today. But in our research centers, design bureaus, and institutes, they are working on this, thinking about it, and making proposals. They are making proposals today. I ask you to analyze everything with the utmost attention, not to dismiss it. This is not a task for tomorrow, but even for today, because if we don't think about it and take care of it today, it will be too late tomorrow. In addition, the formation of orbital groups and spacecraft must be completed within the set deadlines and tasks of various purposes for conducting all types of reconnaissance and ensuring stable continuous communication in a secure segment in a complex jamming environment, both directly during combat operations and generally for solving training combat tasks and in peacetime for the armed forces, special and other power structures. This will allow the completion of the creation of a modern troop management system in real time, thereby significantly enhancing their combat potential. And of course, the production and use of secure domestic software products and developments in the field of artificial intelligence should be intensified for their application in complex automated military management systems. We all talk about artificial intelligence. It has become fashionable. No meeting in any field goes without it. But you must understand, and indeed everyone understands, that the possibilities of using artificial intelligence are simply colossal. And whoever starts mastering these technologies faster, in this case in military affairs, will have huge advantages on the battlefield. And we must never forget this. We have other ideas and other developments. We will discuss this separately. Now, let's start working according to the plan.